JIT-TV, just in time.
At the moment here in studio, I'm joined by one of our reporters, Gabriel Magedi. Gabs, Gedi, tell us about your experience. You failed to actually vote before coming to work and joining us here in the trenches. Tell us about that experience, how the ballot papers were not released or the voting process had not started on time because the ballot papers for councillors were not there. Just tell us about your experience there.
Okay, so yeah, I was needed here at the office before 9 by our head, of course. So I woke up pretty early just to get at the polling station before 7. I arrived there, and when it was time for me to vote, one of the assistant, I'm sure, I asked them, so can I get started so that I can go to work? Unfortunately, they told me that there were no ballot papers and they can't do anything about it.
Which ballot papers were not
I'm not really sure. They were not really specific about that, but they just said there are no papers at the moment. So then I just had to leave because I was needed here at work. I left around 7:30. Yes.
Which area was this?
It's in JIT-TVzw, it's St. Edians.
How was the mood when people were told that the process could not start?
Yeah, people were starting to complain, really, because there were quite a lot of people, and some of the people there, they were saying that they've arrived as early as 5 a.m. just to get into the process, but unfortunately they were not out. Yes. Well,
thank you so much, Gabs. There, I hope you'll have a good day in the trenches, and the head we'll be happy to have you with the other comrades already out there. As you heard it there, viewers, there were delays in a number of polling stations here in Harare. We're yet to get confirmation if the same situation was prevailing in other areas in the country, in the different provinces, but we can confirm, as you've heard there from Gabriel Gede, that she failed to cast her vote because there were delays there. The presiding officer did not specify which ballot papers were not available at the time she wanted to cast a vote in JIT-TVzw, but she failed, and we'll be making sure we give you the details from the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission a little later today when they do obviously hold their first press briefing at the command center at the Harare International Conference Center. But that's what's been transpiring there. This has prompted the CCC Citizens Coalition for Change to actually call for a press conference that's scheduled to start in a few minutes. They had actually slated it for 10 a.m. at the media center, but they've recently we've just been told by our team that's there that they have not yet started, and we'll be crossing over there to hear what is transpiring, and we'll be keeping tabs with what the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission is saying. Thank you so much, Gabs. Do join us in a few minutes as we give you another update from one of our colleagues who this time managed to cast her ballot.
Welcome to Zambezi River Lodge, Victoria Falls. Nestled on the banks of the mighty Zambezi River, right on the edge of the national park, Zambezi occupies the most unique and finest spot with the tranquility and seclusion every traveler seeks. Each of its well-appointed rooms is either garden or river facing, allowing you to soak in the serenity of the environment. The award-winning restaurant Amlonga offers delectable cuisine, which includes our famous high teas. To explore Victoria Falls from this fine location, book any of our packages now. Zambezi River Lodge. Relax, refresh, replenish.
Welcome back and thank you for joining us once again here as we give you updates of Zimbabwe's election. The 2023 harmonized elections just kicked off at 7 a.m. today, and before the break we were giving you updates from what was said by Emerson Mnangagwa as he cast his vote in Sherwood, Kwekwe, as well as VP Chiwenga as well at Heritage School here in the capital Harare. We also had an update from one of our colleagues, Gabriel Gede, who failed to actually cast a vote because the voting process was delayed in Chitungwiza. But we're now joined by Grace, who is one of our colleagues as well, producer, who's coming to help in producing this lovely bulletin. We'll be giving you updates from the different provinces. You managed to vote. Tell us how the process was.
All right, Taku, thank you so much. As you can see, I'm all smiles and my pinky is evidence that I have managed to exercise my democratic right to vote.
Okay, just to hold you there, Grace, we're now crossing over live to the press conference which is being held by the CCC team there.
We have seen an overwhelming turnout of voters. All indications point to a mass turnout of voters. So before anything, we want to really thank the citizens. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for braving those queues. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for ensuring that you know your polling station. Thank you very much for establishing who your true candidates are. It's no surprise as a result that the regime is panicking. We saw all the fake posters. In fact, what really encouraged us when those flyers were strewn around, littered in contravention of the law, was that a number of citizens contacted our situation room and contacted all our hotline numbers and said, look, there are all these fake posters lying around. That tells us that citizens are alert. Citizens know that those flyers are fake. Citizens aren't going to be hoodwinked by FAS. So thank you so much. That's the same vigilance we want to continue with. If you see a flyer saying anything other than go out and vote, please know that it's a fake flyer. Ignore it. Throw it in the dustbin. The CCC, President Nelson Chamisa, we're all telling citizens, go out and vote. Budai muno vota, makawanda. Ngapa saite muna nosara kumba, vana mai, vana baba, vana munu wese, vavakidzani, veku church, veku mabasa. Every single citizen has to go out and vote. And you can tell that we did our mass mobilization work because the numbers coming out in Harare, Bulawayo, Manicaland, in fact, throughout the country are overwhelming. Now, what does that mean? The regime has seen that and they're starting to panic. How do we know that they're panicking? They're refusing to open the polling stations. We're telling all citizens, stay there. They have a legal obligation to make sure that those council ballots arrive. It's just a few hours that we need to put in and invest today that are going to completely transform the next 5 years. So we're calling all citizens, be patient, be courteous, be vigilant. Don't go home until you've cast your vote. It doesn't matter how long the queue is. This is the queue that's going to end all other queues. This is the wait that's going to end all other waits. You have to play your part. We know that it's a gazetted public holiday, but it's not a holiday where we all stay home and rest. We have a job to do, citizens, and that job is to go out and vote. Now, we've also received reports from various provinces where it said that traditional leaders are trying to shepherd citizens and saying, Sabu kunemun wako, or come and let me assist you to vote. The citizens are refusing. They're saying, we've told our headman, we've told our chief, our vote is our secret. We are going out to vote and we want to vote in peace. Don't disturb us. We've also received reports of FAS tables being lined out. They're saying they're conducting exit polls. That's completely illegal. Our polling agents have reported.
Wow, that was Citizens Coalition for Change spokesperson Fadzai Maheri just making some remarks there regards what we had already indicated when we started this broadcast a few minutes back, that there were flyers that were seen be all over the CBD messaging, rather indicating that the Triple C had pulled out of the election. They are dispelling those rumors, and there you have it, Grace. These are some of the issues that are rising. Did you manage to come across any of these in your area?
Well, I did manage to cast my votes at Guja Business Center, popularly known as Pachikwana. Well, I can say the process for me was pretty smooth. The minute I arrived at the polling station, I was directed where to go to look for my name. That process was necessitated because, as you know, that the polling stations actually now divided into two according to the alphabetical order. I think that was made to enable everyone to vote so that the queues are not that long. So there were two centers, polling station A and B, within that one same station. So I managed to identify my name, and I was told where to go, and the election officers, I must say, were very helpful. Even if for a first-time voter, they were taking you through the paces, directing you and showing you all the, I can say, all the ballot papers were available for the presidential, for the MP, and for the ward councillors. And the process also was made easy because they color-coded the ballot papers. The presidential ballot paper had its own color, the MPs had its own color, and for the councillors, they also had their own color. And you would then put your ballot paper in the appropriate box according to the color, and all that was explained to the voters before you went inside the polling station. And when I arrived there around about 7:30, and after about 40 minutes, I had already cast my ballot. The process was smooth and fast.
Yeah. But just going back to that press briefing that's running right now, being held by the Triple C, did you come across any of these flyers in Chitungwiza which were messaging anything?
I never came across any such flyers, and all I can say is one or two persons didn't manage to find their names on at the polling station that they were at. So some had to revert back to checking on their mobile phones.
These applications.
To find out which specific polling station they are supposed to be at. So I think most people had not done that prior. Yeah, so, but I think it's not too late. You can still check before you actually go to the polling station you think that you are supposed to be registered at.
All right, thank you so much, Grace.
That
was welcome. Grace, one of our producers there, who has just managed to vote today. One of our reporters, Gabriel Gede, failed because of the delays in the process. But we can update you. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has taken to its online platforms to release a statement, and I will read it as follows. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission wishes to announce that polling has commenced for the harmonized elections. However, some polling stations did not open on time due to the late deployment of election material. This is the issue we've been discussing here, that a number of people in Chitungwiza and some parts in Harare failed to vote at 7 o'clock, but we have been told by our reporters in the field that voting in some spaces it started just after 9 a.m. Below is a summary of the current state on opening of polling stations in Mashingo. It's 100% at 7 a.m. Midlands is at 99%. Matebelele North is at 100%. Matebelele South 100%. Mashonaland Central 95%. Mashonaland East is 95%. Mashonaland West is 99%. Manicaland is 85%. There is no data on Ulawa. Your remarks there, 75% 23% opened at 8:15 a.m., representing 21 wards out of 29. That's what we are getting from Bulawayo, but there are no stats there or data regards the percentage. Harare has the lowest there with 23%, representing 18 wards out of 77. So there is definitely an issue there in the Harare polls, and I will definitely be getting in touch with Zek as the day unfolds to find out what really transpired, because as we all know that the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission already released a statement last week detailing that the minting company was printing the ballot papers, and it is situated here in Harare. So one would ask, why would there be delays in the capital when in all these other provinces there was material was distributed there? So that's the statement there, and it continues to read, and I'll continue to read, saying delays in the opening have largely been caused by delays in printing of the ballot paper arising from numerous court challenges. This has been the case with the Harare and Bulawayo provinces. Let me just take that once again. This is the reason which Zek is giving. Delays in the opening have largely been caused by delays in printing of the ballot paper arising from numerous court challenges. This has been the case with Harare and Bulawayo provinces. The public is advised that all polling stations that open late for reasons beyond the control of the presiding officer will remain open to cater for the period of the delay, keeping in mind that the polling station must remain open for a continuous period, at least 12 hours on polling day. So there you have it. The Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has put out a statement detailing why there have been delays in voting in Harare and Bulawayo, particularly those provinces there. From the stats we've just received, Bulawayo, they didn't manage to give us the percentage of voter turnout and proceedings in terms of starting times, but Harare has the lowest so far with 23%. They are saying that the court processes that we saw unfolding since the election season started are to blame, because there was delays in the printing of the ballot paper. But this is contrary to what the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission was saying a few days ago, and in the run-up to these elections, they were saying all systems go, all things were set. So the question now to the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, which our team on the ground, Roderick Mashinguys, will be joining me in a few minutes later today. He will definitely be giving us an update as to why the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission now is saying there were delays in printing the paper, the ballot paper, and yet all this time they were saying it's 100% good to go, all cylinders are firing. So that's been the case. All has been well in most of the provinces in the country, except for Bulawayo and Harare, where there were major court issues that were unfolding there. So this goes back to what the minister or former minister of Justice, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs, Ziyambi, was saying at one of the briefing sessions there, that they were waiting for the court processes to finish, that they could then print the ballot papers.
JIT-TV, just in time. What's your wonder? Is it people? In all their beauty and diversity? In all their hospitality and charm? Or is it people's heritage you wonder at? The noble mystery of a past which, in its grandeur and ingenuity, points to the enduring possibilities of people's future. Or is it the breathtaking diversity of natural landscapes that provokes your particular wonderment? How hills roll into valleys, find yourself transfixed by the beauty of wildlife as it runs, flies, swims, lives and thrives. As it connects you with the primal echo of your own animal nature. Or maybe it's not even the diversity of things that grips you, but the power of that one unique wonder, which in all the world is without parallel, whose beauty calls you back again and again and again. And always leaves you in awe. What is your wonder? Whatever it is, we have it here. Visit Zimbabwe, a world of wonders.
The revolution shall be televised. JIT-TV, just in time.